President Trump has agreed to issue SNAP benefits for November, which is great news for the 42 million Americans that are on food stamps that have been waiting for positive news regarding SNAP benefits ending on October 31st. However, there is one issue. The president has asked the government lawyers to go back to court and clarify one issue with the judge before he is going to authorize food stamp benefits to be paid for November. That is after two federal judges ordered the Trump administration to use the emergency fund that is available to issue SNAP benefits. But the president is not convinced. So he asked the government lawyers to go back and talk to the judge and clarify one question. Well, the judge on Saturday, yesterday, heard the president and gave the government an order. They should come to court tomorrow, which is Monday, and answer two questions. And the two questions are this: are they going to issue full SNAP benefits tomorrow, which is Monday, November the 3rd, or are they going to issue partial SNAP benefits on Wednesday, November the 5th? Those are the two questions the judge wants them to come to court and answer. So here is what this tells me: food stamp benefits are going to be issued for November. The question is when in November this is going to happen, because two judges told the administration to issue the benefits. The president said the order wasn't clear, so he asked the government lawyers to go back to court. The court is now saying come back on Monday. There is so much going on. I'm going to explain everything in detail so you can follow what is happening, and most importantly, when your SNAP benefits are going to come in. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors and their retirement, their pocketbook, and their benefits. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. And if you've been following my channel for a while now, welcome back. I am glad you're here. We have a ton to cover, but I'm going to walk you through this sequentially so that you can understand how we got here. And then I'm going to tell you what you need to do, where you can get help in the meantime, because today is November the 2nd, and a lot of people were supposed to get their food stamps yesterday. And so, where can you get help in the meantime? Well, a lot of states are providing major help right now to food stamp recipients. So, I'm going to give you a list of those states and where you can get help while this legal thing plays out. And to add confusion, to all of this, the Treasury Secretary, and the Treasury Secretary is an important part of the government. He's a key person in the government who, of course, holds the government's purse, right? The Treasury Secretary is the guy who kind of like keeps tab of the government's money. And here's what the Treasury Secretary came out and said yesterday. I think it was actually today. So let me pull that up, because then that adds another layer of confusion, which I want to make sure that we all understand. So here is it. Treasury Secretary reveals potential payout date. So here is what that says. Treasury Secretary Scott Bensett said on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday, that was actually today, that the SNAP benefits, which roughly impact 42 million Americans, could resume by Wednesday. His comment came after two federal judges ruled that the administration must use contingency fund to pay SNAP benefits. So the president is saying, he doesn't think the government has the authority. So he's going back to the judge for clarification. The Treasury Secretary is saying that they're going to be paid on Wednesday. The judge is asking the government to come to court tomorrow to tell him whether they're going to pay tomorrow or Wednesday. So here is where we are. So if you've been confused by all of this, let me take you to the very beginning of how this all started. So basically, the Trump administration during the government shutdown has said that, they did not have the authority to use money that is sitting in an emergency fund in order to pay for SNAP benefits. Meanwhile, during a previous shutdown in the previous Trump administration, they had tapped into the same reserve to pay food stamps benefit, but now they're saying they cannot do it legally, which was very confusing to a lot of people. It was like, then why did you do it before? This is not the first time that money has been used to pay for SNAP during the shutdown. And so a bunch of Democratic governors and attorney generals went to court to force the government to do something they have done before, but were refusing to do it now. So when they went to court, the judge, by just what the judge was saying, everybody felt like the judge was going to rule. And this is all happening this past week. So here is what that judge had to say. And that set off all of this. Right now, the judge said, Congress has put money in an emergency fund for an emergency. And it's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency, meaning the government shut down, when there is no money and a lot of people are needing their SNAP benefits. U.S. District Judge Indira Tawani said near the end of the hearing, referring to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, the formal name for food stamps. Now, though the judge's options vary, one possibility is that she issues an emergency order that essentially compels the administration to tap into the emergency funds. While she indicated from the bench that she was likely to issue a ruling favorable to the group of Democratic attorney generals and governors who sued the administration earlier this week, she acknowledged that the benefits, which should start being sent on November 1st, will be delayed. So this is the judge in Massachusetts that is saying this. Then on Friday, she issues her order. And then another judge in Rhode Island, who had also received another lawsuit on the same issue, issued another order. So two judges in a span of 1 hour issued orders saying the same thing. Exactly what a lot of us have been thinking, that the administration has used this money before to pay for SNAP benefits. What is the issue now? Let me make sure my mic is turned on. What is the issue now? Why they cannot do it right now? And so, so they issued this order that the government must pay the money. So then that is when President Trump stepped in and said, okay, we get it. We are going to pay the money, but not so fast. I still don't think that we have the authority to pay this money. So here is where the president came in and said, Trump says he has asked the court to clarify SNAP ruling. So the president threw the thing back to the court. And that was October the 31st. So President Trump said Friday that his administration lawyers are not sure they have the legal authority to pay federally funded SNAP benefits during the shutdown, and said he has asked the court to clarity from the courts in the wake of two recent decisions. Our government lawyers do not think we have the legal authority to pay SNAP with certain monies we have available. And now two courts have issued conflicting opinion on what we can and cannot do, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. If we are given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding just like I did with the military and law enforcement pay, Trump said, referring to to shifting funds that was used to pay troops as the shutdown stretched on. So the administration has found money to pay the troops and federal law enforcement, which I think is an amazing thing. That is the right thing to do. But right now, the question is, how do we pay SNAP benefits? Now, if you find all of this confusing, if there's so much happening that you cannot even keep up, text the word SNAP to 443-293-0080 and join my text list. You will receive important information about not only SNAP benefits, but information that will affect your finances and your benefits. And I'll bring it to you real time when they happen. You will join thousands of people, thousands of seniors that have already signed up, that are receiving one or two text messages from me with important news and update that they need to be aware of. So text the word SNAP to 443-293-0080 and you'll be added to my text list. So where we were, I was telling you that the president has taken the matter back to court. Well, that was going to cause a lot of delay. But here's what happened. Yesterday, we heard from one of the judges, because the judges are also listening to the president. And so here's what one of the judges says yesterday. So A federal judge yesterday thanks the president and orders him to make the SNAP payments anyway. So this is when the president said the order needs to go back, and for clarification, USDA must pay monthly food stamps benefit in full by Monday, which is tomorrow, or in part by Wednesday. So let's read this. A federal judge in Rhode Island. This is the other judge that issued the order, not the one I read to you. I told you 2 judges issued orders at the same time or 1 hour apart. And so this is the one from Rhode Island saying, I read everything the president said, and I'm telling him to issue the money anyway. So here's what that judge says. A federal judge in Rhode Island followed up his Friday oral ruling with a written one on Saturday yesterday, requiring the president, USDA, to make full food stamps payment no later than the end of Monday, tomorrow, or alternatively, partial payments by the end of Wednesday. Chief Judge John McConnell Jr. of the U.S. District Court for the District of Rhode Island was responding to the administration's request for a written order, as well as Trump's Friday night social post asking the court for clarity on how USDA could legally make the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So here's the thing. As I told you, a lot is happening fast. Rulings were issued on Friday. The president responded on Friday, saying he wanted clarity. The judge responded on Saturday because the judge read the president's comments and responded, and now is ordering the administration to come to court and answer whether by noon, whether they're going to pay full payments by the end of Monday or partial payment by Wednesday. So, here's what the judge says. I do not want Americans to go hungry, Trump wrote on Truth Social after McConnell's earlier ruling from the bench on Friday afternoon. I asked the court to clarify how we can legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. If we're given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding. Well, the judge said in his 7-page order, Saturday, McConnell acknowledged the president's social media post and wrote in footnotes, the court greatly appreciates the president's quick and definitive response to the court's order and his desire to provide the necessary funding. So the judge is acknowledging that the president has indicated that he is open to paying the money. And now the judge is saying, okay, now that you're open to paying it, here is how you pay it. All right. So the Trump administration had argued that they neither have the legal authority nor the funds available to pay full November or partial payments during the shutdown. Even if it could use the SNAP contingency fund, the administration argued in court those funds wouldn't be enough to cover the full payment. It would be difficult for the administration to implement reduced benefits. But here's the thing, though, and I don't want to make equivalency here, and I'm just making a general point. The government found the money to pay the troops, which is the right thing to do. The government found the money to pay federal law enforcement, which is the right thing to do. I think the government can find the money to pay 42 million people who are going to go hungry if their SNAP benefits do not come in. That's all I'm saying. And so that's where we are. And so now we have a federal order that is coming in. So tomorrow, Monday, we're going to know when your SNAP benefits are going to come in. Is it going to come in tomorrow or Wednesday? That's why my video says what it says. I believe they're going to come in on Wednesday. I think tomorrow is too soon for them to turn the wheels of this big machine around, because remember, the USDA paused all of this a month ago, and it's not a switch on and switch off. We all wish it was, but it isn't. Now they have to get information to vendors, and I don't even know how they will do partial payments. And so there's a lot of uncertainty. So my speculation is that the government is going to pay full benefits by Wednesday, because paying partial benefits is going to create a lot of confusion. So by Wednesday, or definitely next week, we're going to see SNAP benefits paid in full. So essentially, this has been a roller coaster ride, and I am going to stay on top of that court case tomorrow when the federal government goes back to court to report to the judge what they are going to do. And the government is saying that partial payments is going to be very hard to do. I am going to stay on top of it and make sure that you know what happens. So if you want to be the first to know what's happening to benefits, then text the word SNAP to 443-293-0000. 0080 so that you can be added to my text list. It's free of charge. You'll receive 1 or 2 text messages from me each week, letting you know updates to SNAP benefits or other benefit programs that you should be aware of, or general information about finances, retirement, and other things that are important that you should know and be aware of. So, before I let you go, I want to talk about Medicare, as I always do, because we are in open enrollment and I want to make sure that every senior gets peace of mind about Medicare this open enrollment season. And I've said it before, I am trying to help 100,000 seniors get peace of mind about Medicare. Why? Because you've earned it. You worked 30, 40, 50 years for this. Why not get the best out of it? And so my job is to educate you around Medicare and give you resources and connect you to the best support that can help you achieve that peace of mind. Because here's a known fact: 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. Why? Because there are 24,000 Medicare plans out there. And so I'll cut through the chase. The headlines are scary. Every time you turn around, there's something changing about Medicare. It's hard to keep up. My job is to keep up with all of that and let you know what is and what is not. And so we have partnered with Chapter Medicare. And the reason why we did this, I have been doing this job for 15 years, helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. We have never partnered with a Medicare advisory company until now because Chapter is the real deal. They are not there to push you into a particular plan to make money. They are there to look at all the options that are available to you and help you switch to a better plan. And so over 3,000, it says 2,000, but it's over 3,000 now of our viewers that have gone to Chapter and gotten that peace of mind that I'm talking about. What does it mean to have peace of mind about Medicare? Well, number one, that you didn't automatically renew your benefit, that you made sure that you check the changes that have happened to your plan and you're happy with those changes. And if you're not, that you give yourself an opportunity to compare to other plans that are available in your local area and makes the best choice for you. Whether you want to switch from original Medicare to Medicare Advantage, or you want to switch from Medicare Advantage to original Medicare, whether you want to switch your Medicare plans, whatever it is, Chapter will walk you through that. So call them today, even on a Sunday, 539-205-2147. Or if you want them to call you, then fill out the form I'm going to put in the comments and in the description at askchapter.org/insider, and they will call you and help you sort through all of this so that when it comes January 1st and the Medicare kicks in for the new year, you know in your heart that you have that peace of mind because you have the plan that best fits your budget and the provider network that you absolutely need and the prescription coverage that you deserve. So give Chapter a call today, and I will, if you like what you heard today, there's a lot going on. It's my commitment to keep you updated on all of this. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow.